What's up, homies? Today we're gonna learn something new! Except for by we, I think I mean just me. Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, on my last video, I received a comment regarding how I put out the campfires, and it says, "Can you not use a shovel to put out campfires on Java?" Thinking face. To which my absolutely flabbergasted self replied, "Haha, wait, what?" And then he kind of dunked on me and said, according to Google, you can by right-clicking with a shovel, skull emoji. And I didn't appreciate that, I'm not gonna lie. It made me a little sad. No, I'm totally kidding, of course, but we need to experiment now because let me tell you, if I've been carrying around a water bucket all these years when I could have just right-clicked it with a shovel, I'm gonna be very, not even upset, just embarrassed. So let's see, we got a campfire down and our trusty Silky Scoops shovel out. And let's right-click it and see. All right, well, I think that's the end of the series. No, but really, that is... I cannot believe that I never even thought to try that or knew that or anything. I'm honestly probably blushing right now, you just can't see. So yeah, you learn something new every day, I guess. That's the old saying, right? For real though, thanks, Jim. You're saving me a whole spot in my inventory. And while I let my embarrassment wear off, what are we gonna start with today? And I think the answer to that lays right over in this area here, which ironically was another one of the comments on my last video. When I asked what to do next, they said, do a town square with like merchant shops and stuff. And I was actually thinking about coming over here and doing like a little, you know, farmer's market type thing, which would tie into the whole merchant stalls thing. So why don't we just do a town square with, you know, some stalls around and make it look pretty. So let's go get some stuff. First, we're going to need, actually, you know what? Why don't we do some land clearing while we're over here first? I think we're just going to cut this out, kind of, maybe not all the way up, but, you know, cut it back a fair bit and then just do a retaining wall and, you know, use these sort of blocks that we did here, just so that we have, you know, a little bit more space to do a little town square slash farmer's market. So let's get to cutting, baby. All right, here we are. We did it. We dug out the hill a little bit, and now we got some room to build a retaining wall. And also, I think we may do, you know, a little staircase going up right here. I don't know how, but we are going to do one just so that we can get up to right about here. Just, you know, just another way to get up behind the buildings. So now we can head back on over here and we're going to grab our block palette that we're going to use for the wall. And I don't remember if I've mentioned it yet, but this is going to be our first town square, market square thing. I think this one's more of a market square though. We got to do like a big town square over on this side or something, but this one's going to be a little bit more of a farmer's market with like, you know, mud and dirt and all that stuff rather than stone walkways and, you know, an actual official town square. So we'll see what we can come up with. So we're going to get on over here and get going on this wall. I guess we should probably do something right here as well, just to kind of blend it in a bit. Let's see. We'll do some cracked boys and some mossy ones. That'll work for now. Why not? So I think what we're going to do here is literally just go through and do what we normally do. Just spam things around until we got it looking decent. And then we start building up, I guess. All right. So we've got the start of a retaining wall. It's looking decent so far, I think. We just need to raise up a little bit up top, I think. Yeah, I think maybe we'll bring this up like another step or so. So we'll do that, and then we'll just run it right across like this, and that is where we'll leave it. So we just need some grass stuff to fill that in. And then we got to decide where we're going to do that bit of a staircase. I think maybe we'll actually take this out right here and just do a 2 wide staircase right there and have that lead right up there. Let's do that. Why don't we? So let me go grab some stairs real quick. All right. So let's start with some, whatever these are called, stone brick stairs. And I actually don't want that to wrap around, I don't think. Unless we extend it just a little bit so that we can wrap it around. Then we can work our way up normally and, you know, maybe throw in a stone stair every now and then. And then voila, we have made it up to the top. I think we're going to not do that. We're just going to make these stone like that. And then let's even put another one there. And do I have any dirt? I have barely any dirt. So, yeah. let's just do that. We'll leave it like that for now. But yeah, there we go. We got a nice little staircase working up here now, and everything is connected nicely. So let's do a stone. No, let's not do a stone. Let's do a mossy stone brick and a stone. And then now we can just come over here and finish the wall. There we go. And then I guess we'll put one more like that just for kind of a bit of a railing, and I think that'll work. All right, so we got this nice wide open area here, and we've got a staircase leading to the top, and I think we're ready to start on our little farmer's market town square thing. So we did switch a couple things up over here. Got a little staircase leading to the path, and then a little staircase leading to up here. So there's just, you know, staircases on staircases on staircases on staircases. Anyways, yeah, so first order of business for a town square type deal. I mean, it kind of has to be a fountain, doesn't it? Or maybe it doesn't, but well, it's going to be a fountain. And you know what that means. I get to put this bucket of water to use now that I don't need it anymore. So I think we'll come right out here. Actually, should we do it closer to this side? I think we should do it closer to over here and then leave out there for the little farmer's market type deal. So maybe we'll do it right here, I suppose. Is this a good spot? No, I'm really close to the grass. Okay, so right here. Yeah, this is a little bit better. Maybe like right here. Nope, here though. All right, I think this is gonna be it. This will be the spot. Maybe one over right here though. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. And now that we're done with that, we can move on. No, we're not done with that, obviously. So let's get our stony bricks back out. And we're going to start just by doing a little something like this, which is then going to have stairs on it like this, maybe. This thing's getting to be a little bit big. All right, so we will have water up there like this, and then it will trickle down out like that. And now we've got a nice big mess. Let's go. All right, I suppose we should go out to like here. And then, oh yeah, then we can just do the connecting ones like this in between. Like so. And we have a fountain that I am now going to change up. So I want to do upside down stairs on the ends over here. Should I do one like that? No, that's sticking out too far. So let's see. I want to add in a little bit of flavor here. So let's get our mossy stone bricks back out. Add in a little bit of color around this thing. And I'm liking it. It's getting there. It's looking good. And then I think we will place some walls around here like this. And there we go. It's actually not looking too bad, is it? All right, let's go get some other stuff to build with. And I want to do a little bit of detailing around that bad boy. All right, so the plan is to just try and give this place like a little bit of life. Maybe like a couple benches. What about benches like right here, actually? I mean, we could do a little something like this. And then we got a nice bench there. I think we might do that. That's not too bad. So we got benches all the way around now. And just so that we can kind of finish up that, I want to just throw some foliage around. You know, just some bushes to give it a little bit of color, because we like color around here. And yeah, this one somehow managed to climb up the side of the fountain. So yeah, cool. I was going to put a bench there, but I think we might just do some sort of shrub like this. Oh, not like that. Okay, so that little shrub turned into a pretty big shrub, but now we got a nice walkway right here, so I don't mind it all that much. I am going to come up here though, and oh, we can just cover this stuff and, you know, make the shrub a little bigger. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, I'm liking that. I am liking how that looks. That's cool. So we're getting some green around. Our fountain's looking pretty good. All right, so I think what we're going to do now is throw another bench down right across from this one. So let's see, 1, 2, tree, and then the end. Oh. And then, then the end. I believe those are called armrests in some countries. And yeah, I'm good with that. That kind of forms the walkway going right through here a little better. So we're getting there. And I think we are going to do the walkway real quick, just to the other side of the fountain. All right, let's get to some ground changing, why don't we? All right, so we got the walkway pretty much squared away. We got some blocks stuck in the mud as usual. But yeah, we got a walkway all the way around now, and everything is pretty well textured, and you be quiet. You do not interrupt me right now. And yeah, now I think we're ready to go on the other side and start, you know, building the actual market, the little shops and whatnot. Let's go get some more stuff out. All right, so we built some stalls amongst other things, and I didn't include it just because they're kind of basic, but I'll show them off real quick. So first off, we got a couple new trees. I did a couple different birch tree type things, you know. I really I mixed up the leaves. I got oak, dark oak, and birch leaves in them, and you know, I kind of like it. Definitely I think it looks a little bit better than these two that are all just one color leaves, but perhaps that might just be me. But anyways, to our merchant stalls. So the first one we've got here is, you know, I did the same style as the Dutch's tent thing way over there with the pale oak trap doors and whatnot, but this time it's more of a stall rather than a tent. So we got the entrances on either side, and I gave it a little table and chairs, well, stools, I suppose, over here on this side. And then, yeah, this one sells some goods, some watermelon, snowberry, or what are these called? Sweet berries, I believe, actually. Glowberries and chorus fruit. So I guess this is the fruit stall, as it turns out. Oh, and I put one of these pale oak flowers. What are these things even called? I don't know. But yeah, they look really cool at night, so might have to show those off if I get around to nighttime. But yeah, so this is our first stall, the fruit stall. And then over on this side, we've got, this one's a little different. I think it's more like medieval stall type with like the dark and the light wood, and we got a little cart next to it to wheel things in and out of the farmer's market area. And then right up front, we've got a couple spots that are just kind of showing off what we're selling here. So, you know, bread, potatoes, carrots, apples, sugar, and eggs. I don't actually say eggs. That's kind of like a long running joke with a bunch of my friends in a group chat. We even spell it A-Y-G. So yeah, this is our second stall. And then you may have noticed that we've got one more spot here, and I've decided this is not going to be another stall. We're going to do a fishing hut here, or a fishing shack, whatever you want to call it, a fisherman's shack. So there's of course going to be a building here, but then we are going to run something down here for a dock into the water, just, you know, for fishing those bad boys, actually. So I think we're going to do, I don't know if I want to make it out of wood or like the whole stone thing like that. I'm undecided, because I do want it to be like a stall, but like a permanent stall, but it doesn't really look permanent if it's just wood like this stuff. I think I have an idea though. I almost want to do like half of it stone and then the shack part wood, which then leads down into the water. Maybe we'll do something like that. I don't know. But now we're going to go get some materials. No, we're not, because they're all right here. And let's get started on this bad boy. So actually, the first thing we're going to do is, I think I'm going to set up my beacon right there, because I want to cut this out and just make it like, you know, a little bit more wide open, because I want to do some building down here in the water. And I don't want it to be super congested going into this little thing right here. All right, beacon is up. New color alert. We got orange. So let's get over here and clear just a bit of land. Why don't we? All right, terraforming has been done, and we've got I missed a block of dirt. Oh! And yeah, we've got a wide open little entrance to this stream that ends about right up there. But yeah, we got plenty of room to build a dock down there now. So I think it's about time we get started on the building, and I'm still a little undecided how this is going to work. But one thing I've decided on is it's going to be wood. We're just going to do like an actual wooden shack. And I may have it hang off the edge just a little bit. I haven't quite decided on that, but you know how fishing shacks have like the building and then there's a walkway like in front and around it that leads out to the docks? I think we may do something like that. That's why I say we may have the building like half on, half over the wall, and then the walkway coming around this way, and then maybe it starts going down and the dock is under this part of the building. Or maybe it goes that way, or maybe it goes that. I'm really bad at staying up here, but yeah, maybe it'll go that way. I don't know, but I think I have a slight idea what to do for the building, so I'm gonna get going on this thing. So let's grab some woods. I think actually okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm doing the walls in trapdoors just so that there's a little bit of a different texture compared to the rest of the wood. And let's get going. So first and foremost, the walkway around the building is not going to be on the ground. This is all going to be one block off of the ground. So I figure maybe we'll just throw stairs like, I don't know, maybe we'll do this sort of staircase. And then from that, we'll have the walkway that kind of, let's see, how far are we going to go this way? Maybe we'll go to there. Is that enough room? Yeah, I think that'll be enough room. So let's see. Maybe we'll do something like that for the corner. And then we'll run it back this way. And then I think the building will start right about here. So then we can fill in our walkway as far as we're going to go with it anyways. And that way the walkway or the walkway. Oh, actually, yeah, the walkway, the porch, whatever you're going to call it, can continue this way. It'll be too wide again. Oh, I guess we need to go one more so we have room for a fence. So then we're going to have the building here like this. Obviously is going to be kind of a small building, but that's why I'm doing the trap doors, because it'll give you a little bit more room in there, even though we can't use these blocks. And then we just have to decide how far out it's going to go. Do we go, actually, we could just go as far out as we want. So maybe it's not going to be super tiny after all. And then, yeah, the walls are just going to be like this, with the trap doors that way so that you have a little bit extra room inside. And then that way, when we go to do windows, we're just going to use, let's see if it'll even look good or work or anything. We're going to use oak trapdoors for the windows, and then above them will just be another row of these for the wall, and that's what one of the walls will look like. And yeah, that's not too bad. So yeah, then we just got to kind of keep going out as far as we really desire, I guess. Let's see, what'll be a good interior size for this thing? I think that is actually going to be plenty, so we can get rid of that and do another column here. And there we have one of the outside walls. And then, oh, right here, actually, this one needs to be another column. So right on here. And the back wall is now in. And then I suppose we'll put the door on this side. So let me grab one just so that we can make it work. And it's gonna be a little bit weird having a door that looks oh wait, why don't we just use a dark oak? Oh, because I don't have one right now. So let's see what this looks like, because we're lazy. So then we got this wall in, and this is a little confusing to do. Oh, I forgot about this. Let's see, can I nail this like first try? And I can, because I'm the best ever. I'm the best around. Yeah, that door's not gonna work. So we will make up a dark oak dough, and actually I'm gonna put it out here instead, because why put it on the side of the building? I mean, that kind of just doesn't make sense to begin with. So instead we will do it like that. You know what? We're using trap doors, which means it may not look weird next to the actual door. I think we're gonna keep it. I just switched this one, but I think we might switch all the walls to be like that. I kind of like that a little bit more. It's different. And there we go. It is all switched up, and let's see how it's looking from over yonder. And yeah, oh dear. I do think that looks better though. Oh, it would be nice to have a dock right about now. So we are going to abandon this stair type, and we're just going to do it like that. Make it nice and easy. Then we are going to need some dark oak fences, I think we're going to do for in here. Break up the color a little bit. Guess we should put another post right here. Yep, there we go. All right, we've now got plenty of slabs. So what we're going to do is start making... Oh, I forgot that is a trap door. Start making a roof, and this part of it is going to come right out and be a little overhang. And then after we do that, we are just going to connect these down, and there we've got a fancy little front porch. Although I am wondering what this would look like if the porch had stripped dark oak logs instead. So let's just throw some in here and decide. Ooh, that does break it up a bit, doesn't it? What about if the building had these? You know what? I actually do like that. I think we're gonna run with this. Might even mix in some non-stripped, because you can never have too much variety when you're building, right? So we could do something like that. Ooh, I'm very much liking how that's looking. So we're gonna have to switch the back ones out, which means I need some more dark oak. So that is all switched up. I'm gonna add one more down there, I believe, just because I like the whole stripped being in the water and non-stripped being out of the water, almost like the water deteriorated it, and now it's the same as that one, so gotta go down another. There we go. But yeah, so, you know, logs in water are gonna look a little worse. That's what I'm going for there. So now we can finish wrapping the porch roof around like this. And then we're going to start the stairs down to the dock. That's what it's called, the dock. But actually first, I believe we should finish the roof. How do we even do this? All right, you know what? Let's do something a little different for this part of the roof. We're going to have it hanging over this side, and then we'll peek it up this way. Hopefully anyways. And, you know, hopefully it looks okay. So then we'll throw in trapdoors here, flip them up, and then that's not what I was going for. How am I going to do this? Let's do this so that I can put the upside down stair like that, which will then block that a bit. And then we can just fill this in with full size blocks and then a stair like that. And hopefully when we jump down here, it doesn't look terrible. Okay, I'm all right with that. It's not too bad. The backside looks a little terrible, I'm not gonna lie. I think what I'm gonna try and do to fix this is, why do I only have 31 scaffolding? Where is all my scaffolding? I'm going to just try and, you know, do like that. While we're up here though, I wonder, can I? Oh, I can. Nice. There we go. And yeah, I think that definitely helps. It was just a little bit too much on the back. I mean, that's not bad. I think we'll run with that for now. All right, so we're looking pretty dang good now. We're gonna start on the stairs. How are we going to make stairs down to a dock? Where is the dock going to be? All right, I've got a little bit of an idea all of a sudden, so let's rock with it. We'll just run the stairs down, of course. There we go, right where I was hoping it would be, actually. That's nice. So I think we will throw another post right in here, and then we're gonna make the dock kind of pull a hard 90 this way, and it's just gonna kind of be under the house, but also extend out this way. I think that's gonna work nicely. It's not gonna be in any super weird spot, you know, just sticking out like a sore thumb. It actually kind of works with the building. And then I think I may do a little bit of a different technique for the, you know, supports for this. I really want to try using fence posts and stuff, because I just feel like the logs are a little bit too much, like a little too thick for a little dock like this. So I'm going to experiment with down here first off and just see if the idea that I have in mind will even work. And I even get to use a cool shovel to put this out. Oh, I still can't believe that. All right, so this was the idea that I had, and I'm not gonna lie, I am absolutely loving it. Like, it's literally just some nice simple posts and holding it up from the bottom. I am going to swap some things out because we gotta have some campfires towards the end, because I, for some reason, have to do that on every single sort of dock thing. There we go. It's looking better and better. Let's put a few right in here. And then I think back here just needs a couple. All right, so we've got some campfires. So I think we're going to put another support post right in here. Why did my voice just crack? That was just uncalled for. And there we go. Another one. And we can even just throw some lanterns right on these posts here. All right, we got another support back there, some lights down there, and our dock, I'm not gonna lie, our dock is looking absolutely fantastic. The stairs are a little treacherous without a railing, but, you know, we'll survive. I think we'll survive. So, let's see. Let's, what do we want? What do we want? I want some barrels. We need some barrels because we got a fish shack. So, I want to throw some down on the dock, too. Right back here in the back corner. And I forgot that I can't because it's bottom half slabs. That's awkward. What if we cheat a little bit and do, like, a half of a barrel? I think we can get away with that. Yeah, all right, we're gonna just forget that's there. Just a little detail back there, but I kind of like it, actually. All right, and as for inside, of course, like I said, we can't use these spots. We can't use these spots where the trap doors are, which is a little bit unfortunate, but I guess we'll just have to, like, you know, throw some barrels out here like this. And then maybe we can use some armor stands to do something funky on the inside, make it look a little better. One thing I am going to do, obviously, is put some lights up. I think, oh, it must be raining because it's for some reason coming through the roof. Oh, good, the sun's going down. Oh, wait, I can open the windows. Oh, good, the sun's going down. We'll move these to over here, I think. Like that. And then over here, I have to have a little table and chairs. Oh, not that far away. There, like this. And then I'm going to go get a piece of carpet to put on there because I've been enjoying that for tabletops. So we've got a tabletop, and now we're just going to throw some stuff on some item frames and, you know, label these barrels, I suppose. All right, there we go. That adds a little bit, I guess. We got some salmon, cooked cod, and pufferfish. So, yeah, I think we may just kind of not do too much on the interior. I mean, we could put some, you know, stuff up here, which will definitely help. But maybe just kind of out here, we'll put like a fishing rod there, or, you know, oh, actually not right there. We'll do one right above the door. And maybe another something or other over here. I can't put one there. Why can't I? What? Is it because of the fence? Okay, yeah, it must be. That's weird. Whoa. All right, so I'm gonna go get, I don't know, some stuff to throw in these fishing rods, maybe some different fish if I have them, maybe a bucket or leather boots or something. But yeah, we gotta decorate this place just a little bit more. So let's go grab some stuff. All right, we got a whole bunch of things to throw in some item frames. So let's see. Out here, let's do these two. I feel like these would fit nicely for the outdoor spots. And then, do I want to invisible these? Should I leave them like that? I think I might leave the outside ones. And my voice just cracked again, so maybe I'm a little bit more stuffed up than I thought I was. We're gonna have 2 fishing poles in here. Let's see, tropical fish. We'll do a water bucket, a bottle of water, and then let's do a cooked salmon in the last one. There we go. And I think we're going to leave those item frames actually there since they are real item frames. So yeah, I think that stuff definitely helped a little bit. It's still, the interior's a little tough, but I don't know. I think we'll run with that. That's looking pretty dang good. All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of detailing, which is going to involve obviously some greenery, but let's see if we can't hang a couple hanging roots around and maybe some glow lichen. And then we're going to need some vines. I want to throw some vines on like these posts, even though they're going to spread like crazy. Where else could we put one? Let's put one up here. Maybe we'll throw a glow lichen there for, I no idea why. But let's see. I want to see if we can't do a little sort of bush thing over here, which is then obviously going to work its way down the wall. Hanging over just like that, I actually am a big fan of. So I think we might leave that one just as is. Let's see. We'll throw a glow lichen over here and maybe do a little vine there, let it spread around. You know what? Let's do one on this down bottom posts too. That was certainly a sentence. This down bottom posts. Sounds like it could be a Bruno Mars song or something. I can't believe I just said that. Oh, brother. Yeah, don't unsubscribe, please. Anyways, over here, I think we'll do another sort of bush thing. How does that look? That is definitely doable. I do want to put another one over here, though. Should we hang it all the way down, like all the way into the water? You know what? We're gonna do it! It's hanging down into the water. All right, all of that stuff was done. So what we're gonna do over here is we gotta have a boat. So we're gonna throw a boat there, and we are going to tie it up right here. So we've got a boat. That's nice. The last thing I want to do, like detail wise down here actually, is we're going to go underwater and we are going to make every piece of dirt in like this small area just into mud. It's just all going to be mud under the fish shack. So let's do that real quick. All right, we have modified the immediate area, and I really do think that looks quite a bit better. Oh, boy. You know what? Whew, boy, what a long day of work. All right, so we got this place pretty filled out, so I think what I'm going to do is just run around and, you know, do a little bit of detailing as normal, and then we're just going to throw everything into a time lapse because I have to have a time lapse because I'm I guess maybe I'm addicted to time lapses. I don't, what the heck am I even saying? Anyways, yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit more detailing and then, yeah, time lapse, and then we'll get out of here, baby. All right, we have finished our market square, and oh, actually, before we get going on over there, I extended this dock down a little bit, for now. Yeah, since, you know, there's going to be like a stone yard, a lumber yard, whatever over there. Figure we should have some extra room for ships to park. So I think that was a smart addition. What is this guy doing out of his cave? But yeah, anyways, with the market square, you may have noticed a slight change in the end of the time lapse. And that is the fruit stall over here to the right. I got rid of the pale oak. I felt like it was a little bit too much, I think. And now everything kind of flows together better. We got the spruce and dark oak over here. And then we got the dark oak and spruce over here. And then we got the dark oak and spruce over here. So yeah, you know, I think it works a little better. We added some windows to the back of this to match that, and also over here. And then yeah, that's pretty much that's the only real big change that we made, other than doing some detailing work. And as for the anytime I look west, we get frame drops. What is up with that? Even if I'm like way over here, I still get the frame drops. That's so odd. But yeah, I forgot what I was saying. But so some of the detail work we did, got a couple more trees in here, you know, just some little guys over here, and you know, one over here and one behind. Actually, that one was already there. But yeah, so I guess it's really just this little fake birch tree thing, and then a birch tree thing over here, and whatever that tree would be, I guess. And then I think my favorite detail actually is right over here. We've got a small path leading to a nice little bench under a tree overlooking the port. And I do think this is actually going to be a very visually beautiful spot once we get, you know, more of the city built. Like, we may have some buildings up along the ridge underneath the fortress, and, you know, the yards over on this side. So this may actually be a visually appealing spot in the future, hopefully anyways. But yeah, that's pretty much the extent of our little market square. You know, we kind of did everything in real time and then just did the time lapse for no reason. So yeah, I think we'll just leave it at that. Keep it short and sweet and get up on out of here. So that's where we're gonna leave this one. And yeah, so if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. We're slowly closing in on 2,000, which is, I mean, it's honestly just mind-blowing. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm still so excited for the rest of the city, so I hope you guys are too. So yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and share and plaster it all over somebody's Facebook wall or something. I don't know, just, you know, spread the word, baby. So yeah, that's where we're gonna call it, and as usual, thank you guys so much for the support, and I love you guys so much. And yeah, so bye!